So Jordan, how did you end up connecting with them? Because they had a drummer before, and then you came on. And
it's a great story.
By the time you came on, they already won iTunes Album of the Year, reggae Album of the Year. So they're already something.
Yep. And like I said, I was playing for a smaller band, Rudical Rhythm. Actually, that wasn't a Rudical gig that time. It was actually just like a little side band with some Rudical band members. We're at Tropics on Ward. Tropics. And I think it was like the second to the last song. I think we were like close to being done. And I seen JP and Caleb walk in. I think Les was there too, the old drummer. And I was packing up all my stuff, packing up all my drums, bringing it to my car. And JP,
I want to interrupt you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Before he continues that story, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
We were about to embark on...
Bro, yeah, this is important. Go ahead, Kites.
2.5 month tour of the
album release tour. Our album was coming out.
The first album. Second album.
It was Warp.
It was a second.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah.
It was...
it was a long tour.
It was Hawaii 13.
Was it?
No, it wasn't Warp Tour.
Okay.
But it was a long one. It was 7 weeks.
It was 7 weeks.
It was 7 weeks.
Shwazy, right? Wasn't that the one?
No, it was the Giant Panda Gorilla Dub Squad. Right. That was my first tour.
Leslie, who was our drummer, I don't want to say like, he couldn't come anymore.
Okay.
Like about 2 weeks out.
Let's just put it that way.
2 weeks out or something, he couldn't come anymore. So we were like, what are we going to do?
So
right?
crazy.
Okay.
No, yeah. And then, just putting away my drums. And I literally just, turned around and JP, Les, and Caleb was behind. And they were like, hey, what's up, bro? Saying hi to each other. He's like, JP asked me, he's like, hey, bro, what are you doing for the next 7 weeks? I'm like, bro, working,
I don't even know what I'm doing tomorrow.
I have a job,
for breakfast.
you know what I mean? Like, he's like, bro, it was crazy. Like, it was mind blowing, And he asked me, what, bro, you want to go tour? I'm like, wait, what, bro? Like, mind blown, I was tripping, and I was like, I'm working, He's like, yeah, well, fuck, you got to quit, like, let come on the road. And I was like, I was tripping, and he looked at Les, and he asked Les, what? Should we get Jordan? And Les was like, yeah, let's get Jordan, and I'm tripping at this point, and they're like, okay, I'll call you tomorrow morning. JP was like, I'll call you tomorrow morning. We'll try to make this work, and whatnot. And
so wait, how old are you? This is 07, right? I mean, 11, right?
11, so 1 year out of high school, so I was like 19.
19.
Yeah, like
you didn't really
19.
know them either, yeah?
I didn't know Caleb. I didn't know Caleb. I knew of Les, Of course, I looked up to him, a lot. So, I mean, I knew JP only, really.
Yeah. So you grad 2010?
2010.
Okay. I'm 2011 grad, so we're...
right on. Yeah, so I mean, I had like a couple weeks, boys, like a week or two to,
Yeah, but you didn't have a rehearsal.
I didn't even know these guys yet. You know what I mean?
We met on the airport curb.
Oh,
crazy.
Wow, that's wild.
I was working at Subway at the time. How's that, bro?
Did he still smell like Subway when he came to tour?
He came with like Subway gift cards.
Bro, you walk in there, 1 minute, you come out smelling like Subway for the next week.
So wild.
We had Subway gift cards that first tour,
so yeah, I had like a week and a half to, explain to Subway, like my job and my family. Like, they were tripping at the time. They didn't know who the Green was, nobody really did on my in my family and stuff. So my mom was the first person I told. I went home that night. I was like, hey, Mom, I woke her up. I was like, I woke her up, bro. You didn't hear about that? Like, I woke up my mom. I went in her bed. I was like, bro, JP asked me to go like, on tour, It's just like, who's JP? Like, who's the Green, Tripping,
Why do you smell like weed? Yeah. What's that smell? What's that earthy smell?
It's like weed and Subway, huh?
Yeah. So I made it happen. Obviously, I quit Subway, and JP kept on following up on me, like, hey, are you coming? Are you ready? Like, I'm like, dude, like, I didn't even rehearse with nobody. Like, I didn't even know the band. Like, you know what I mean? So
can I interrupt again?
Yeah.
Can you tell the Subway story with Uncle Danny?
Oh, bro.
Yes.
You guys want to
Sorry, guys.
Uncle Danny Kennedy, who is Manao Company.
Manao Company.
He's
OG.
He's Caleb.
Legend.
Caleb's mom's brother and JP's dad's brother.
Okay.
So that's the real JP and Caleb are first cousins.
Yeah.
So,
Next Generation band was Next Generation because they were
the Next Generation,
from Aloha.
yeah.
It was like the proteges, the nephews and everything.
So like if Dylan Pakele was a little older, he would have been in
exactly
in that
Right.
exactly
Okay.
yeah.
and then but Uncle Dan walks into Jordan's Subway.
And this was like the week that, this was like my last week at
Uncle
Subway,
Danny knows us
obviously,
all very, very well. He knows Leslie. He knows the band.
Yep.
He knows the songs. He heard them all before they came out. Like he's very.
But he
familiar.
doesn't know Jordan.
He doesn't know Jordan.
Doesn't know me,
He's
bro.
just going to Subway to get a sandwich right
He
now.
walks in, he's standing in line, and I know who Uncle Danny is, You grow up listening to Manal Company, and you know who he is and stuff like that, and I know who he is, and I knew that was JP's uncle, and I had the honor to make his sandwich, so I'm making his sandwich.
What was his order? You remember?
Bro, honestly, people ask me that. I don't know. It might have been a cold cut trio, bro. It might have been. I guarantee it wasn't a hot sandwich. It was a cold sandwich for sure. Guarantee.
Never had to heat him up.
No, never, bro.
man.
Uncle Dan was kind of simple. But anyways, I'm making his sandwich and I'm kind of looking at him, making the sandwich. I'm looking at him. I'm like, should I tell him? Like, he's gonna, I had to. I looked at him and said, hey, Uncle Danny, I know you don't know me, but I'm going on tour with the Green. I'm going to play with JP them. And he looks at me and he's like, what the hell? This Subway worker is telling me that he's going to go play with my nephew them on tour,
I was just crying.
I'll never forget his face, bro. He looked at me like, dude, this kid's weird. Like, what the hell, That was one of the best moments ever because Uncle Danny was kind of like tripping, Shout out to Uncle Danny. Love you, Uncle. That story is
That's
awesome.
so funny.
Yeah.
Imagine just
Love
going
that
into
story.
a Subway, just be like, yeah, I'm going to go play on tour with the Green.
Bro, yeah,
And he's
exactly.
like, no, you're not. Like,
What was it, Pro City Subway?
they have a drummer.
Kapolei, bro. I used to work at Kapolei one, yeah. Yeah.
He's like,
Great story.
Okay. So provolone.
Everything but jalapenos, please.
I was gonna eat it. Now I'm taking it out. I'll take that to
Go.
Brian, I'm pretty sure he called like JP or Caleb like when he got out the store, He's like, hey, the Subway worker is telling me that he's gonna go on tour with you guys. Is that true? And he got hit with yeah, right, it's true, like that is the guy. Like,
Oh, that's an amazing
so
story.
yeah, I rode up to the airport and I that's the first time I met the boys and it was crazy. It was such a crazy thing. No rehearsal, big Pure Aloha festival in Vegas.
Yep.
First
Sound
shoulder
checks.
tour.
Sound
Yeah.
check.
Sound check was the first rehearsal, and sound
Oh.
checks at a festival only last like not so long. They don't last too long. So
Super crazy. I had
ran,
one
like, 3 or
rehearsal
4
with
songs.
Les
Yeah.
at what house was that? I think that was in Palolo, bro.
the
Whose
Polo
was that?
House, yeah, above the Matas.
I had like a one-on-one, little rehearsal with Les, and he was, telling me intros and outros and stuff like that. But I never really, practiced with the guys, so it was crazy. It was mind-blowing. So crazy, bro.
Yeah.
But
And you never looked back.
exactly.
That, I mean, at what you said, 19 or 20?
Yeah,
That,
I was like
that's
19.
brave.
Super
Just
crazy.
quit your
I know that's
job.
kind of nuts.
Like, if you
that.
think
No
about it,
rehearsal, like
Super wild.
No rehearsal.
Yeah.
You knew their songs already, so.
For sure.
Oh,
yeah.
okay,
I
okay.
mean, I released Love I on YouTube. I was already.
When did you guys find out about that?
like not even till, bro. Actually, I think we found out when they were telling us who might be playing drums, and then sent that link to like.
But it's funny because as this airport thing, like when I rolled up to the airport, like everybody was kind of like, like they had like regular faces, but Brad, our bass player, he's kind of looking at me like, who is this guy? He never did. He never did look at.
He still looks at you.
Yeah, for sure.
He still doesn't know you're in the
For sure, bro. Yeah.
It's just the same.
He still doesn't know who this is.
Super crazy. Though.
Wow, that's,
But
that's
thankful,
an
boys.
incredible story.
Unreal. Yeah.
He saved us, though. Jordan saved us,
Yeah.
bro.
He did. He saved the whole tour.
Yeah. It was meant to be.
So,
Such a wild
so if
ride.
he didn't join, like, what would have happened? You just wouldn't have a drummer. Would have
We
just been
had
like
another possibility.
okay.
Luke Daddario plays. He plays with Koloi Kai.
He's a Koloi Kai, yeah.
He used to play Rebel Soldiers. He played in Stir Crazy. He
He's
was
the
a drummer
OP
in
Pickers
Stir
drummer.
Crazy.
Oh, okay.
He's the original
Yeah.
P Pickers.
Super
Yeah.
sick
OP Pickers
drummer.
Yeah. Ridiculous drummer.
Yeah.
Great drummer. But no, we ended up kind of doing a little back and forth because Leslie wasn't sure, and then we ended up scoring Jordan.
It's just like a right place, right
For
time
sure.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They could have
Serendipitous.
picked any other drummer, you know, and it's crazy. I was just at the right place at the right time.